Whoa. Stop the clock.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Oh, Rich, this is your dad.
Cocaine down to the ground. Cocaine
all week long.
Yeah, that's right. We're starting early. Welcome to We Got a Case. I will be joined momentarily with Creed, but I wanted to make sure we were on so we didn't miss any of these TPOs with Judge Manning. She's going through right now and just making sure everybody is where they're supposed to be, and whoever is not there is being, dismissed. Get on out of there. So instead of me trying to record something or whatever, I teleconferenced Creed and I said, let's go early. I'm going to go ahead and jump on early, get this on out to the masses. So we're not behind. We're right on schedule and having a good time. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their day. It's good to see everybody in the chat. If you're new here, what we do is we just jump from courtroom to courtroom, typically live, but sometimes we have to record the cases so that we can enjoy the entire thing. But we always love Judge Manning. Judge Manning is absolutely my favorite judge, a very, very nice, thorough lady who dispenses justice on the reg. That's right, on the reg. So let's go ahead. We'll start listening to her chit chat with some of these very interesting people. She has to yell at them quite often because they don't know how to listen and turn their cameras on. Turn their cameras on. So let's go ahead and jump on over here with our favorite one, Judge Manning and William Scott Sr.
Also, Ms. Free will know who to send the dismissal to. Make sure you keep that with you for at least a couple of weeks so there'll be record of it, okay?
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm sending it.
Stay healthy and safe.
Jesse, you getting pulled?
All right, I got Sean Barnes.
Sean Barnes. Mr.
Hi,
Barnes.
here.
Michael Parker. According to the Sheriff's Department, they cannot locate that address, so it must not be a good address. Your case is reset to March the 3rd at 2 p.m. You placed your email in the chat. Ms. Free's going to give you a reset notice in the sheriff's form. Fill that sheriff's form out. Obviously, what you gave them for address before, they cannot find it or it doesn't exist. So you need to make sure it has a good address and put a 2 to 4 hour time frame so that they can know when to try to go by and serve.
Okay.
Right? Thank you so much. Stay healthy and safe.
What's going on? Time served.
Kimberly Butler.
Terrence.
Sanford Butler.
They've been a lot of people not showing up today. She's been burning through, throwing folks
James Lee.
with their fires to appear. Leather and lashes. Hope you're doing well, not working too hard.
Dominique
Georgia.
Pickens.
Mr. Pickens.
Yes.
Oh, Mrs.
Dominique,
Pickens.
you both you can place yourselves
Mrs.
back on
Pickens.
mute, and I will get back to you shortly. All right, William Scott. Oh, Mr. Lee, you still want to go forward? Mr. Lee, are you still wanting to go forward?
Yeah.
Mr. Lee.
Okay. So, all right, just want to make sure some people change their mind. Thank you. William Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yasmin Dyer.
Who do you think Mr. Scott,
Mr. Scott, it looks like, and there's also one more, Stephanie Scott. So Stephanie Scott is incarcerated.
Why that?
So they're going to give you a different date. Is the 23rd a date for that, for an inmate?
Yes, Your Honor, that's the inmate calendar date.
All right, so Mr. Scott.
I watched some of the, by the way, I watched some of the inmate calendar the other day. It wasn't with Judge Manning, but it's basically just like this, except for they have the in custody people from the jail doing their TPOs. which I really had never seen those. I'm sure you guys have, but I really had never seen them do in custody TPOs.
She didn't live there. So you got to have a good address because whoever's there says that she doesn't live there. So you have to place that new address and a time frame to get served.
Sassy.
Now on Stephanie Scott, as long as she's in jail still, we
See
can
that right
send
there?
it over to the sheriff's department. They can serve her at the jail.
Hit it.
Judge, this is Portia Scott. I'm my father's power of attorney. At the time, Jasmine Dyer, that is her address. We did just receive a notification where she put in a change of address. So yes, we'll fill out that information, but I'm not sure if it's in Fulton County or
Well
not.
played.
We'll have to have a private processor to take care of that. But yes, ma'am, thank you.
That is a Willie.
So if it's not Fulton County, then you'll have to go to the county where she lives to get the TPO. So you find that out. We'll still get the sheriff's form, in case it is. And then for Stephanie Scott, we'll send you the reset notice. Ms. Reed, do we need the sheriff's form since she's still in Rice Street?
Yes, I will need it, but I can fill the address. I just need them to put the
Appreciated.
identifying
Pass. Appreciated.
Okay, so we'll send you that sheriff's form too, Ms. Scott. If you can just fill that out with Stephanie's
Mary.
info and send it back. If you just put, Rice Street, she's in jail,
Walter.
make sure she gets served there.
Okay, thank you. And I did put
Walter, sit in the
my
back of the
father's name and
courtroom.
the email address in the chat.
All right, thank you. Y'all both stay healthy and safe and have a good weekend.
Thank you. You do the same.
All right, is there anyone's name here who's a party that I did not call their name?
Hot pea soup coming in. If you missed court
Yeah, that was
yesterday, you
me,
missed
Haley
something
Horton.
good. Go back and watch it.
Are you
It
a
was
witness or
amazing.
are you a party?
I'm a witness.
I don't call witnesses names. I say, is there anyone who's a party?
Oh.
That's okay. All right. So I'll hear Miss Matthews and Miss Martin first. Everybody else, y'all can feel free to turn off your camera until we call
All right.
them. Lee, are you a
kids.
witness?
Hold tight.
Or Nikita Lee, are you a witness?
Yes, Judge, I am.
Okay, all right. So y'all can just, for which case? Oh, the other one, okay. All right, now,
A lot of stuff happening.
Mr. Matthews got kicked off again, so let me let her back in.
Time served.
So as soon as she gets back in.
Doing the Lord's work. Thank you. Thank you. For Two Bones kicking it off right. Or Friday.
Hello, I'm sorry, ma'am. That something's going on with the service. It's a signal.
Okay, so
the
Martin, if you
signal.
can both, if you take yourself off mute, both of you raise your right hands. Do y'all swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The Lambo Red,
So-
everybody.
Couple of ground rules. We're not going to talk over each other. I mean, I may interrupt you, but y'all aren't going to talk over me or one another. So I'll hear from Miss Matthews first. Miss Matthews is supposed to be family violence. So that's what I want to hear about is family violence and the family violence that you claimed, Miss Matthews, that Miss Martin has done to you. Okay?
Miss Martin.
I don't need to hear about something for dinner, somebody burnt the chicken and that made you mad. I just need to hear the facts of the case and why you told the CPO. Now, also,
I were
Miss
golfer,
Matthews, you
Lisa.
got the sun, I can't really see.
Okay.
Sorry. All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
if you're gonna say, that's okay, if you're gonna say that Ms. Martin threatened you, you have to tell me more than that. You have to say, at the end of December 2022, she threatened me saying this, okay? Or how
He's on
it
his
was
way,
harassed me. You have
Gigi.
to be specific, and
On
you
his
gotta
way.
give me a date or at least as close to it, like, last week or the first part of January of 2023, okay? And all I want to hear about is that. Okay.
Rose, good to see
Okay,
you.
the incident occurred. I have auto recordings and dates on my email, Google Drive on all the incidents, and I have currently also we are in the middle of, she has my kids too as well. I don't see my children right
Canada
now
in the
due to the
house.
fact of these threats and the harassment. So it's been going on since she had the kids since May.
Okay, we'll start with the most recent
May
event.
of 2022.
Okay, that's not the most recent event. You put January 29. of 2023 on here.
Those are the auto recordings due to the auto recordings.
You gotta share those and let me hear them.
Auto recordings.
You know, I gotta hear them.
I need it.
Okay. You saying you have to hear them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Gotta go off script
One second.
sometimes.
So
I
what
didn't
you're
want
gonna
us
have
to
do
miss
is
any of
kind say,
this.
This call was on, January the 2nd. And then, here's where she threatened me or what have you, and then play the audio.
Okay, no problem. I have them.
And what's the relationship?
She's a sister, blood relative.
She's a sister, blood relative? So she's your sister. What kind of response is that? How do you not get along with your sister? Got to take them to court. Got to bring them in. Good to see you, Fred. Why are we playing it like that?
Your Honor, can you hear him?
Who can understand that?
Ms. Matthews, I'll be real honest with you. I hear a lot of screaming and yelling. So it's just a little bit too loud, maybe where I can't understand. There you go. Play it at that. Now let's play that again.
Here we go.
That's one of them.
Okay, and that was her voice?
She said
Yes,
she'll bust her out.
So I heard her say she was gonna, I think, quote,
The
bust
dope
your
man
ass
got
out.
Creed.
Is that
Box.
Matt, if you turn it down just a,
I'm sorry, they're very loud. So
yeah, I know. So if they're loud, it gets a little distorted on my end.
yeah. They're very loud.
Yeah, just turn it down just a little bit, please. And thank you. Peace and
Give me
love.
1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
While she's turning it down, make sure you like this video and share it out if you can. Thank you. By the way, monetary monorails.
I'm going down, Your Honor. It's
1
a
out.
lot. 1 second.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I don't think these kids want to play with you. I just don't think you said the too old is you.
Yeah, like she has. This don't make no sense.
I'm just Martin. I'm gonna have to mute you. Don't keep laughing.
I'd hope get behind me.
Okay, that's one of them.
So Miss Matthews, is that what she's saying? She's gonna bust your ass out. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah, she said I'm gonna bust your ass out. Not only that, I have a recording of her coming to my house.
Okay, so hold on. Let me hear something else. But you can't talk about that.
You get the ass busting is
You
coming.
can't talk
I
over- What
understand.
date was that when she said she was gonna bust your ass out?
Oh, 100%. You could send it in and play it so we could all hear it
I'm
better.
finna go to it. It's in the Gmail. Give me 1 second.
It's enough to try and get people to understand how to turn on their cameras.
It was that time, like the harassment started with her in May.
Okay, so
But
this
the
voice,
actually incident happened in January.
okay, so that voicemail, was it in January?
Yes.
Okay, all right, play the next one.
Angela, get some rest. She's using that thing that they used on Home Alone 2 that they recorded what people were saying every time. That's what she's playing it back on. Remix.
I tried to break them down. Hold on 1 second.
Am I doing?
What the fuck? Vagina that you supposed to be nasty. And look what she at. Bitch, you come eat the same place. Keep playing. Keep playing, bitch. Y'all jealous of a nigga, bro. That's all that is.
Yeah, I thought she said 5 people come out of her vagina.
Mm-hmm.
Try to play both ways, sweetie, because he had me come over there and try to drop me. Because he sat right there and called me. He called me over there. He said, you supposed to you, sweetheart. You got my
1 second.
Oh God, this is and this is at the point of just being agonizing listening to these. Oh my God, we're being tortured. Literally tortured. A lot of vagina talk, a lot of ass busting talk. What is she playing this from that we were getting the remix and everything else? How is this even possible to have such terrible technology? Get a Teddy Ruxpin out. Well,
it's more.
I'm
glad
glad
you're not laying down in the bed in my courtroom.
Judge, I am at work. I am not laying down in the bed.
I'm talking to you, Miss
Actually,
Martin.
wasting my time.
Moore. I said Miss Moore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Miss Martin. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Laura.
Hey.
that's where we're at.
This is at the moment right here. At the moment right here, this is where she was at my house. Right here. Those just are the auto threats recording on her attempt to come to my residence. That's what those were.
Georgia Pete said it right.
This right
Teddy Ruxpin from Toy that you.
All right, help me out.
It was the worst recordings ever.
N-word.
It's very loud because the way I had to record this auto recording is loud.
Let me finish
It's like
what I'm saying.
you record and you can only understand the curse words, and that's it. Nothing else.
You know,
No
you know the
context.
toys that you can
What are
record
y'all
your own
fighting
thing
about?
into on the shelves at Walmart?
No,
kind of thing?
I have. She had my children, correct? So what it was back in January, I asked for visitation, and when I asked for visitation, she pursued the attempt to attack me.
Good day.
And I'm now 8 months pregnant right now, and she pursued to come to my residence.
She's got all
She
her
came
kids.
to my residence.
So the sister
and
has her
those
children.
recordings are
Makes
her sitting
sense.
outside my residence.
Okay, so
Attempting.
she was trying to
Yes.
contact you, but did you guys, why is she mad coming over there mad and raising Cain?
Because she don't want me to get my kids back.
If
And
I
I'm
heard
trying
right,
to fight her to get my kids
5
back.
kids come out of her vagina. Creed.
That's what.
You have a case in juvenile court?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So could you help me a little bit about what you say some of those recordings said? Because I pointed out the words that I could hear.
Thank you.
So what was she saying?
Bitch, you bitch, stop playing with me. You'll be on your dying bed. Like, we had a cousin that passed at 36 due to a heart attack. I have high blood pressure. She knows that, and she know my medical conditions. And it's just the fact of, like, why would you do somebody like that if you know you only have temporary with their children? You only have temporary, and all these, and I'm not finna go around nobody that's gonna attempt to fight me that has 5 of my children. I'm not gonna go around them. I'm not gonna need to.
Number
I tried to
6
get
on
them
its
to.
way.
I tried to get her to bring the kids to my residence, but we have a court date coming up where I'm gonna see about that court date what happened with that. But the main concern is I tried everything since she have had temporary custody of these kids to get my kids involved in my life without her. My lawyer stated, my legal aid stated, don't contact her. Only reason why I contacted her, the day of this incident was January 29th. That's the day of the incident of my son's birthday. I had every right to contact her because she have 5 of my children.
Yes, Tubbs.
But the assault and
5.
the fighting me and all that stuff while I'm pregnant and stuff, I can't deal with that. I'm not gonna deal with that. It's gonna make me look bad as a mother trying to come around and do visitation rights with my children.
She says 5 of my children. Makes me feel like she's got more than that.
Oh, like she's got some
Thank you.
stepchildren.
Okay.
How do you say that?
First,
Children.
I'm gonna start with this.
Here comes her sister.
Start with this. I'm glad she let you hear the last recording, because that was actually her calling my phone. I thought harassment is when you keep calling somebody and you tell them not to keep calling you. That's harassment.
No.
She calling my phone, so yes, I did tell her.
You do
call
that
my
in one
phone
phone
again.
call,
Don't call my phone no more unless you want to fight. Your Honor, this is my little sister. I have been dealing with this girl telling lies on me for forever. The reason why I have her children,
I don't care. Don't
care.
So you just let her talk, but now I can't talk.
I don't care why they have her children. That's for juvenile court. That's not anything.
Okay.
Today.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about what's related to today.
And I'm pretty smart this morning. So it's juvenile. So I know. So go ahead.
Okay. The first recording she let you hear, when you thought you heard I was gonna bust her ass out. No, that's not what was said. What was said was she should have let you hear the whole recording. She has been calling my niece, my oldest niece, bullying her. She have spit on this girl, beat her, abused her. She was calling my niece to bully her. I said, I will not allow you to bully her. I will teach her to box you out before I do that.
Box you out.
That was not me threatening to hit her. That is a lie. Everything she has put in this petition is a complete lie.
The sweet science.
Everything.
You guys are wrong.
And if she can't
Y'all are
prove
just
all
wrong.
this stuff she done lied about, I really want to press charges.
Anybody
Like
read
this,
Hope's shirt,
I
by
do.
the way? Life is tough.
I want to press charges because this is a waste of my time. I'm at work. I'm at work. This girl done had the sheriff knock on my door for lies. These are all lies, ma'am. Everything. I never came to her home. All these recordings that you hear her recording you, that's because she called my phone. So yes, when someone is calling my phone, bothering me and upsetting me, yes, I'm gonna get loud. Yes, I'm gonna curse. Yes, I'm gonna yell. Yes,
baby.
she's calling my phone, ma'am. So if anybody got harassed in this situation, it was me, not her.
Hot times, baby.
She called on my nephew's birthday, asking me why I'm messing with her Gateway account. I don't mess. Why would I mess with your Gateway account? I've been had the kids since March of last year. It ain't May, so she could.
All right, so please you on mute. I'm putting this.
I just muted her.
How about that?
Shut down.
That's how you stop that. That's how you take order.
You know, say something to people who have the same children. They're both the parents. You folks are your sisters.
Yeah.
I've never felt this much with my sister. I mean, even when we were little.
Look at Dominique over here. She's all into it.
I got bigger than her, but it doesn't matter. This.
Praise Jesus. She says, praise Jesus. Yeah.
I feel sorry for these children that they're living in this environment where this is going on.
Oh.
Because I can imagine.
Your Honor, may I please speak?
Ma'am. Not while I'm talking.
Who is this?
If she's calling over you, which Miss Matthews, if your lawyer said don't call her.
You remember those cow boxes, right?
Yeah,
man. Lawyers are for to tell you what to do legally. I suggest that you listen to that lawyer. There was a reason that lawyer told you not to call her.
Maybe.
And I'm pretty familiar with juvenile court. I sit down there sometimes. So down there on a dependency, which means the children were removed from you. Instead of foster care, Ms. Martin stepped in and took the kids because if they have a relative, Ms. Martin is keeping the children.
She did her a favor.
Ms. Martin for doing that and not letting the children go into the foster care system. Now, besides that, if both of y'all are this much of a hothead, these poor children need a little break. I mean, and Ms. Matthews, the best way for you to get your children back is to fix you. And don't worry about Ms. Martin. You know, and I know you want to see your children, but this gets brought up.
I see, Your Honor, but I'm not trying to. Oh, okay.
Just let me finish.
I'm not trying to see them kids, Your Honor.
And I'm pointing towards the juvenile courthouse because I can see it. This gets handled right down there, and everything that just happened is going to get brought out down there, and none of that concerns anything about what's in best for your children. And it's best that your children have both of you, because Ms. Matthews, if by chance something were to happen to you, then I'm assuming your children would have to go live with someone else, either their father, your mother, or whomever. And I'm assuming since Ms. Martin took them now, maybe she would be the one to take care of them. So one thing you don't want is to have a bad relationship so that if something ever happens to you, you're not getting along with a person who you know is probably going to be the one to take care of your children. Now, I'm just assuming that she would do that. She did now, and maybe they would go to. But if their fathers aren't around to take them, Ms. Martin stepped up, which means the fathers didn't step up to take them in juvenile.
Ooh.
So this is the thing: is you've got to get along with one another, and y'all really shouldn't. Really, if there's Ms. Martin, let me ask you a question. Can you take yourself off mute?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are there is there visits that's set up for Ms. Matthews to see the children?
Miss Judge.
Is yes or no?
She ain't even gonna be around them kids, to be honest.
So right now, the court down there in juvenile court down the street has not set up a visitation schedule.
No, I had to call CPS on her. She's not even supposed to be around them. That's why I'm telling you everything that she's doing. She's lying.
Okay, hold on. I just asked a simple question. She had.
It must have been bad.
Ms. Matthews, now let me ask you.
They don't get kids out for nothing.
You a case plan to work?
The thing about it, Your Honor, the petitionary that was taken out on me, I have a legal aid and a power attorney that's handling that stuff in defense courthouse right now. Because what it is, she took advantage of my mental state.
Ms. Matthews, first I want you to answer my question. Nobody ever wants to answer my question. Do you have a case plan
No, it is not it's called I'm sorry, the spelling of the name is called a recertification plan or something like that. It's court order. Yeah, I don't even have that yet. We the court is just starting.
So
We
that's
don't
it.
even have that.
The court is not just started. We've been
Oh
in
my
court
God,
since August
ladies,
of last year.
ladies.
I'm not saying
God,
that.
she just keep lying.
All right, y'all gotta stop. So Miss Matthews, you have a case plan or?
No, I do not have that yet,
Listen to me, Miss Matthews. I am not, y'all think I'm a big old idiot, but I'm not. I sit on the bench down there. I have heard hundreds of juvenile cases.
And it states
what you're doing right now is you've got a reunification/case plan that tells you things you need to do. Sometimes it tells people, not necessarily you have to get basic housing, have to get a job, have to be able to supply the children with this, have to do this, have to take parenting classes, all this. There is stuff you're supposed to do to get your children back, period. So if the juvenile court has not given you some sort of supervised visits or visits, because they would arrange it with Miss Martin for you to have visits, then you don't need to be talking to her. What you need to focus on, Miss Matthews, is you're working your case plan/reunification plan and taking care of your children. Because as long as this is going on, it's going to cause trouble for you down there. So
I can't say something, Honor. The truth, the matter is, I've been down there. I've been to the clerk's office, done spoke with them, did everything that you have said right here and said and stated. If you familiar, you know Miss Baker down there at the juvenile courthouse at the clerk's office. We have spoke, and yes, she told me everything I have to do. And I'm taking the steps and the protocols because I'm doing this TPO out on her because she's the more aggressive one. It's gonna sound good, but it's been going on for years. It's been going on years with her. It's just the fact of, you're right, I did accept my big sister to take my kids in, but not to be an aggressive one to me in the matters of the circumstances, and knowing that I'm not even able to see them through her right now because of how she act right now. And then it's nowhere that I can't have visitation with my kids where they can't come to my residence. It's nowhere that CPS is an order against me for my kids. I got the petitionary and the stimulation petition. I have all that, Your Honor.
which judge are you in front of?
Next week, we will be going to Terrence. It's a different judge.
Okay, put you back on mute. Ms. Martin and Ms. Martin only. You have a copy of the reunification/case plan. What has the court ordered you to do with the children right now?
Miss Judge, the court has pretty much just ordered me to be there, just be there for them.
Okay, so
just be there for them. Ashley does not have a plan to get kids back. They haven't given her a plan. They're not planning to give her a plan.
Ms. Martin, yes, they do.
No plans for the plan.
Right. I know this. I know this because they don't.
Okay, Judge, I don't mean to interrupt you. But
listen. Here's how it goes. There's dependency. Then there's a case plan. Then there's a reunification plan. If you can't get through your reunification plan, then you go to parental termination. There are steps. This is by the code. So I'm telling you. So all I'm asking you is, have you been in front of a judge, which you should have, because that's someone that signed something for placement, that said, okay, Ms. Ray, that said she gets these visits, or is that going to be addressed and other issues when you go back to juvenile? Yes or no?
No.
They haven't given, okay, so she's not there yet. Her case manager is going to go tell you how you progress. Here's what y'all need to do. Yeah.
Have we seen Dominique before?
First of all, y'all need to get along.
Forehead.
Y'all need to get along, not because y'all are related to one another or anything. Y'all need to be able to get along simply for the fact that Ms. Martin, you have Ms. Matthews' children. She obviously wants them back. She's going to have to do what she has to do down in juvenile court to try to get them back. If she doesn't, it goes to termination of parental rights, which is a very high standard. They akin termination of parental rights to the death penalty. So if there's a case that's going on that gets conflicted out, if it's terminating parental rights, they get excused from my court to go down there because that's more important. So it's akin to that. So let me tell you, what I want both of you to do is put your hand down and get along. I'm not putting this in place because y'all are going to have to talk during this. God, nobody believes me. I'm just a judge. I don't know crap. I do not know anything. I promise you. The hundreds of cases I've heard down there.
She just explained the entire thing, and they're still like,
I don't know
how it
anything.
works.
Don't know anything. I don't know the law. I Googled it. Ma'am, I know the law. I sit in superior juvenile court. And I'm telling you what's going to happen. You two are going to have to communicate, period. The court is going to make you. Man, you can ignore her, but she has to do certain things to get her kids back. But right now, neither one of you need to talk to one another, think about these kids, and move on.
I feel like we've seen Dominique.
Period. Put these children first. Ms. Martin, you need to learn down there what she's supposed to do and what your part is. Because I promise you, that judge down there is going to start giving her visitation. Sooner or later, she's going to get visitation. If it's, drug court, if it's drug rehab, alcoholism, just that she doesn't have housing and stuff like that. They do not just say she gets no visits automatically, period. Even if children have been abused, people get supervised visits at some point in time once they work a case plan. Now, I'm not here to teach juvenile law. I'm here to tell both of you to get along for the sake of these 5 children. Miss Matthews, talk to your lawyer. Next time you go to court, you need to make it get her to have the judge make it clear in court. What contact, if any, or when can you have it with your children? Because if that's true, Ms. Martin has the children, she is supposed to help facilitate that. But that's all, whatever. I haven't seen the order down there. Don't want to see the order down there. Y'all need to let juvenile court handle this. Y'all are 2 sisters. Y'all need to get along. Y'all don't have to be there for one another.
No TPO, by the way.
You have kids, hopefully.
No, she said no.
Your kids. Yep. Both of you stay healthy and safe. Have a good weekend. I'm declining to put this in place. All right, here's my next case. Y'all can both leave the meeting. So, Ms. Martin, put your email in the chat.
Email in the.
It's in there.
Get stepping. I said, go and get. That's a shame. 2 sisters not getting along. Busy fighting.
To that point, it's crazy when you think about that. Blood sisters like that. The one taking care of all 5 of the kids. Right. If I understand,
and got kids of her own.
So, Mr. Lee, who are your witnesses?
She's a school bus.
Viper Lieutenant, my sister Nikita Lee.
Okay. And Miss Dominique, do you have witnesses? Is that the other 2 people that are here?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put all of you, the 3 of you, in a in the waiting room. So you can't hear the testimony, and I'll bring you on.
I like the judges jumping from one to the other, not cutting the video. Good stuff.
Right back in shortly. Okay. Both of y'all raise your right hands.
Dominique really did enjoy that last round.
That's how much she enjoys being on this side of it, though.
So, yes. Mr. Lee, most recent event, work backwards, specifically about what Ms. Dominique has done to you that led you to file a petition for family violence. Start with the most recent event, sir. And hold on, I got yours pulled it up right now. 1 second. Like pull it up so I can kind of follow along.
That make me just imagine being a judge that does what she does, has the knowledge that she does, and to have pretty much both of them women
and then, I think there was
say what they say about.
Well, you just filed the answer and counterpoint now.
It's got to make you nuts. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you just filed an answer.
How she doesn't snap on them more?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Especially when it comes to something that's facts.
And work backwards. And
she sits on the bench. She knows the whole ordeal. And they'd say, I Googled it.
I think this is, sorry.
She should just stare him in the face and be like,
how dare you?
22nd of January. I think that's the first
22nd, correct.
And if there's something that happened before that, please tell me what happened and exactly what she did to you. And if you have recordings, if you have text messages, anything like that, share your screen and show that to me. Okay? But don't do the recordings like this other lady did and hold it up and play it because I can barely make out a word.
So bad.
That was terrible.
Okay.
Unless something's happened since the 22nd. If something else has happened, you can tell me that and then just work back.
Right. So I can keep this kind of just focused on 22nd, 23rd, 24th. I think you said start. Do you want me to start on the 24th and go back, or the 22nd and go forward? I'm sorry.
Oh, start on the last event and work backwards. So it's 24th, you start there and work back.
Okay. So on the 24th, after the incident, blow up and threats on the 22nd, on the 24th, my sister that is here as a witness, tried to have a conversation to see whether or not.
I'm sorry, I guess if something happened on the 22nd, it may work better for you to tell me from the beginning than from the 22nd.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, no problem. All right, I can do just that. I can do just that.
Chronological order, please.
On the 22nd, Dominique came home from work. I gave her a couple of options. One option was, here is what you can accept and receive if you want to stay in my home. And here's what you can accept and receive if you want to leave from my home. And I can go into the details of that or not, Judge, depending upon how much you want. However, so I presented.
Tell me what's in that conversation that here's what you need. And I guess.
Yeah. So I have a wife that is disabled. She's in advanced stages of ALS.
Sorry, who's Miss Dominique to you?
She is my cousin.
Okay. Well, I'm very sorry to hear about your wife. I had a friend that had that, and it's excruciating, and that's so hard. So.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that.
And your
I
wife.
I do. And so the thought was, just to try to be concise as possible, was that she could benefit from staying in a great area, great school district for her son, and I would benefit from her being available to assist with my wife. And we just never ever got aligned with that. The offer was, free room, free board, no utilities. I never offered her money. When she came, she have asked for money and continue to ask for higher and higher money. It's just never enough. So at any case, this was, okay, we're going to come to an agreement tonight, and or we're just going to sever ties in this relationship. And so I put the terms on the table to stay. I can share that with you if you like, and then the terms on the table for her to leave.
Sure.
You like those terms? Okay, so I offered her $16 an hour, 6 days a week at 6.6 hours per day, which is 39 hours, almost 40 hours a week, which is $2,500 a month, $30,000 a year. Now, the judge, that $16 an hour is higher than the market rate of $13.29 per hour. So my view is generous. That amount is higher than she's making at the restaurant where I got her that job also, okay? So in my view, it seems very fair.
Hello, Ashley from Ontario.
Also,
good to see you.
And the offer is
glad you're here.
The rent in average 2-bedroom rent in Alpharetta is $2,200. I took 20% off of that, so that's a $440 discount to say, okay, your rent will be $1,700 a month.
Doesn't he keep that under 40?
So that was the offer, right? Included, the utilities are included in that. No food in that, so I'm no longer buying your food. I'm no longer, driving you back and forth to work and your kid back and forth to events, etc. There's no medical
coverage. Sound like a better deal without being paid.
That goes along with that. So there's no advance pay.
Actually.
So the thought was, let's make this a very clear business arrangement so that we can stop talking about, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. Okay. So
thank you, Mr.
When I presented this, I didn't get halfway through it, and I was told that this is an effing insult. $16 an hour. Okay. So and cussing and all that started. So immediately I pulled this one back from the table and said, okay, here's what you get if you go. All right. And I didn't get through that at all. All right. So
especially
I got
since we didn't hear that she was a nurse or anything like that.
Followed me into the kitchen. And Your Honor, I know you hear, bad language and bad behavior on a regular basis. I don't have that in my home. Okay. I don't have that.
Come live with you then, Mr. Lee.
Okay. I don't have it. All right. So this is the most vile language that you can come up with. All right. And so this is MFers, this is FU, this is, FU, MFer, I'm not doing shit, I'll kill you, I'll get rid of you, get rid of me, I'll get rid of you. And I don't even believe that she really even realizes what she's saying when she says these things. I really don't, because there's just no emotional control there, right? And that's very scary, not kind of scary. She physically cannot stop herself until she's too tired. She physically exhausts herself, and then she'll finally tire. Okay. So that night, I called my sister and asked her, explain the situation, and asked her, could she stay in the home until all of this is resolved and I legally get her out of the house. And so my sister came right away. I think I just shared with you, she's a Viper lieutenant deputy. She took days off of work also to make certain that the threats don't materialize into something that's disastrous. Okay. So, she came for my protection, for my family protection, for my wife protection, etc. All right. So on the 23rd, my sister Nikita had a conversation with her to try to see if matters can be sorted out. She'll testify that she said, this is how people snap. This is how people get killed. Okay. My sister told her he's going to get law enforcement involved. She says, do what you have to do. I called her father in New York, explained the situation, asked him if he could come down. He says he don't want to come down because when she gets like that, he's afraid of what he would do to her. Okay. So he says, I'm sorry, I can't come down for that. All right. And I told him, I'm going to get law enforcement involved. He says, you got to do what you have to do. I called and talked with her daughter, who is here as a witness for her, and explained the situation. She cried because she felt terrible about what's happening and what her 13-year-old son is being exposed to.
Good enough.
She says that, I wrote it down. She says that she's not going to come, that I know my mother's unstable. I gave her to God long ago. Okay. And that she's not going to come down, even though she was off work that Tuesday and Wednesday.
Family members when they're that
so
bad.
There was no choice.
But
my conscience is clear because I felt like I did everything that I could, try to be up front. However, there's just a misunderstanding that there's some money pot that I have, and money grows on trees, and I can just sprinkle it around the world because I'm worth millions. So lastly, Judge, I'll share with you on the 23rd. I told you that, what she told my sister, the deputy. Also, she told my sister that it's kind of reverted now then to extorting money. She told my sister that I'm going to buy her all new furniture. I'm going to finish the basement downstairs and she'll have a kitchen. She can live down there. He's worth millions. He gets paid once a year. Can you imagine how much his bonus is? He's going to have to pay for all of it.
Yeah, he hasn't mentioned it.
She called my cousin Laverne in South Carolina. He's worth millions, and I'm going to get what I can.
I don't think he's.
I don't think she's a nurse. A long way from millions of dollars. So that's the situation. My sister's a witness. I have a rambling Facebook message, but I only have that on the text. I can email it to you if you.
I guarantee she's still living in the house. So it's a nice place.
It looks like you put it in your petition. Says.
So was he trying to get the TPO to get her out of there? Basically, you think?
Life and death. So be careful.
I think it's all of it, all the
She
above.
hasn't done a whole lot. Mostly just verbal abuse, right? Or verbal
threatening
threats.
A raft.
Okay, raft. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's my bad handwriting. I'm sorry.
So that was directed to you.
That's definitely an implied threat. Okay.
So,
she's told other people in the family, well, I didn't put his name. Like, people aren't crazy. The family understands what's going on down here. right? They're very concerned, all of them, right? And, you know.
So, do you feel, my phone's ringing. I should hold myself in the camera.
You should turn your phone off in court, Judge Manning.
All right.
Uh-oh, Judge.
It's embarrassing.
Someone in particular. But anyway, it was great. Okay. Anyway,
She's only human.
Her face
do you
getting red.
feel
Only human.
in fear for your, since
That
you're
was
supposed to
funny.
help with your wife, do you feel for your safety or the safety of your family?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
You always got a big drink.
crystal clear. Yeah, I mean, you see this
Mega.
every day in the news.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but she was
Dominique.
also staying there, and apparently the food
Thank
was being
you,
paid
Anna.
for, and
Everything.
I relocated. I received a call from Mr. Lee in April of last year. I resided in Richmond, Virginia. He's leaving out a lot of the details. First and foremost, I'm not a violent person. Secondly, he put in his petition that I have unknown crimes. I never committed a crime. He reached out to me for assistance.
Papa Top.
And I think where the lines got crossed is when he said expenses, that he would take care of myself and my son's expenses to relocate to assist him with his wife. I came, I broke my lease. I had to pay out to move. He paid for my rental. I have everything and printed because I was removed, traumatized, and my son from the home because of these false allegations of me threatening him, which I'd never threatened. I never threatened him in a text, not to a family member, not to his sister. I have all of the payments. He said I'm trying to extort him. I never extorted him. I have every payment his wife sent me through Cash App for the services that I've done for him since I've been there. Okay, I have the agreement that he just read out to you. So the terms were, the verbal agreement was
Ms.
to
Dominique.
move here to
Ms. Dominique.
assist.
Miss Dominique, so you're his cousin.
I cannot.
Are you his cousin, his wife's cousin?
Oh,
it's breaking up,
Miss
freezing.
Dominique, are you
My
his cousin or
goodness.
his wife's cousin?
Sean, thank you for the 10
All right,
members.
Mr. Lee,
That's
is
big.
your cousin or you? Okay.
This is my cousin.
We're related. We're related.
Okay.
And
Our grandmothers are sisters, yes.
Okay.
yes.
Ms. Dominique, so let me ask you a question. Were you having a hard time there and wanted to come down here so he was wanting to help you financially?
No, that's the thing, Your Honor. I'm confused
You're having
as
a hard
well
time?
because
No. Listen, and why did you take him up on the offer?
because he needed help with his wife. She has ALS, so he was relocating from North Carolina. He relocated from North Carolina here. I was living in Richmond, Virginia. He called me, asked me. It was misleading, first of all. He told me about his niece from his wife's side, how she came and assisted. And I thought that the niece was assisting the wife. But Your Honor, it's so disturbing on all levels that we're here wasting the court's time.
Yeah.
My time has been wasted. I didn't need any assistance. I was very stable. I had a job working from home, and I was working for Virginia Medicaid, okay, working from home, assisting. My background is customer service, and I assist taking care of disabled. Before COVID, I worked with the elderly in a living facility. He reached out to me, and when he reached out to me, the first question that I asked him was, why did you reach out to me? And he said, himself that he knew I could do the job because this is the type of work that I've done. I never tried to extort him. I never threatened him. I moved in with all good faith that he was going to do his part in the verbal agreement. But what happened, what brought the altercation on, January, he went to the gym and hurt himself. He hurt his back. When he came in, his wife told me he hurt his back. So normally my job was I cooked, I cleaned, I washed his wife's clothes. I assisted her from moving her from the bed to the toilet, from the bed to the chair. I did her hair. I washed her. I cleaned up. Your Honor, I'm sorry for wasting your time. I am so distraught. The cops came to the premise. I did so much since August when I got here, and I feel like everything I've done was not appreciated.
I'm at a loss on this one. I can't figure out. There's some motive here. I feel that we're not getting the whole story.
Loss across the board. I'm shocked that my cousin has brought these false allegations against me.
Clark?
Hey, it's Clark.
What are you guys thinking in the chat?
The only thing I did wrong, Your Honor, I should have got it in writing from the beginning, but I've trusted his word. Now I'm displaced. My son is traumatized. I was traumatized. I'm 50 years old.
Traumatized at what, though?
The move?
I never would bring harm to my cousin or his wife. We were all good until that day I got home because I found out that he was using my son to move his wife. My son is a minor, and I have the text message. I can read what he said.
I guess because
to
his
you.
back was hurt.
What he said to me, I'm
Can't
sorry.
help move ALS victims?
I said, please do not use my son because he's a minor. He told me my son is strong, that he could do the job when I thought I was being hired for the job, but they didn't want to pay me. And as he said earlier, he got me a job. So because I didn't have any wages, I accepted the job. When he hurt himself in January, he started texting me that I need to come home to assist his wife for lunch, to use the restroom before I left for work. I put her on the toilet. I got her dressed, brushed her teeth was brushed, compression side.
Oh, she creed framed.
She creed framed.
Gone.
Oh, she's coming right back though. She just wants to switch sides.
Is he really a tightwad at 16 an hour in what he offered?
I'm sorry. Hello?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize first and foremost.
Is there some
And
traumatized
I
for him
never
to help
thought
with
my
the lady?
cousin would have went as far as he done. I've given up my stability to come and assist. I've lost wages since I've been
Protection order
here.
against her.
Yeah,
The way
wants
he's
her
tried
gone,
to
I
pay
guess.
me $100 per week, I washed her clothes. I cooked food for them every day. He ate. I made special meals for him because he doesn't eat certain things. I did so much.
He gave her free room and board. I understand.
To
Maybe
be humiliated.
a little bit of cash.
And then offered to pay her, though.
I don't even know.
She
Your
then she'd
Honor.
have to move out.
I just want to, I've never been
Really
in
pretty
any
bad.
trouble with the law. I'm a law abiding. My daughter tried to plead. I reached out to a family member just to get somebody to reason with him because I left Richmond, Virginia, and I have I have everything. I have.
You had to leave
Hey,
her
Ms. Dominique,
from home
muted
job.
you. Stop. All right. Mr. Lee, who's your next witness?
She's not. They would have said that by now if she was.
Lee.
Yeah.
She's definitely not.
Lieutenant.
It seemed like she was also talking about she was showing
So,
Cash
Your-
App and
Your
stuff
Honor,
like that.
is it
I
okay
think
to
the
make a
wife
statement
was
on that?
sending her money.
Yeah, it was paying. Mad
I
Irishman,
can't,
good
but
to
let me
see.
let, I know.
Maybe under the table,
Okay.
Mad Irishman.
He
Maybe
might
under
not
the
know
table.
that.
So,
It
Yeah, that
be
might have
that.
been.
else to do there.
Yep.
Can you take yourself off mute? You swear
I mean-
affirm testimony about to give.
And he's the petitioner trying to get
Yes,
a
I do.
protection order against her,
Okay,
against
Yeah.
Dominique.
so I think you were there one day when some sort of.
I think that was the original,
Yes,
JJ.
Judge Mathis. So
It
let
was
me just
100 a
kind of
week.
briefly say, I have several concerns, and just to touch on a few briefly, I want to touch on her outbursts, her disrespect, her post on Facebook, and then the thread that was made when I went into her room. So as far as the outbursts, I know there was an incident where she was in my sister-in-law face, and I had the same
That's Los
conversation with the both
Angeles.
of them. And my sister-in-law is disabled. She can't walk, but she kept her finger in her face, and my sister-in-law kept saying, "Get your finger out my face." So they had a spat about that. The day that I did go to Alpharetta, she didn't know that I was downstairs, and she was just screaming to the top of her lungs. She was telling her son to get out of her room. She's like, excuse me, I have to deal with your pussy ass cousin. So she came downstairs. She was kind of shocked to see me sitting downstairs. But excuse me, as far as disrespectful, it's just they don't speak. That's just disrespectful that you're in somebody's house. And after the entire ordeal, she told me she was going to apologize, but she never apologized. She just does things like she's out on the deck, she's loud. And my brother lives in a really nice neighborhood in Alpharetta, and that's just disrespectful that you're out there on the deck all loud. You come in the house, you smell like weed. That's just disrespectful to my brother. As far as the post on Facebook,
Dope man
she
come
said
by
things
all
like,
hours of the night.
tomorrow is not
White
promised.
van.
Be careful how you treat people, because you will feel the wrath one way or another. If you think you're getting away with anything, everything comes full circle and you will be corrected with me. And I had a conversation with her about that. I was like, why'd you put that on Facebook? And she tried to downplay it. I was like, but that was a threat. But the biggest threat was when I went to tell her, I said, well, my brother said he will pay for you a
Put
week
that
in the
down.
hotel. He will pay for your first month rent, and he
Pissy.
will pay for your deposit. And she just went off, and she said, this is how people get killed. You never know when somebody's gonna snap. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. He's gonna have to do what he have to do, and I'm gonna do what I have to do. So they need to remain separated. Just returning her to the house would just be a total, complete disaster, because it's just not working anymore. It's not working.
Mr. Lee, is there anything you want to ask her specifically that she missed?
Oof.
No, I think that sums it up well.
All right, here
in
comes
terms of what
Dominique
she
with
saw
the smile
directly,
on her face. What she got?
For sure. Judge, I want to be as specific.
Ms.
Okay.
Pickens, do you have anything you want to ask her? Specifically, Ms. Pickens. Go ahead.
Nikita Lee. So you saying when you were in the home, your brother was away for a whole week. I was disrespectful. I disrespected. Whose face was I pointing in? When did I point in somebody's face?
So you remember telling me that you and Ann had gotten into it, and Ann told me about this saying, oh, you don't remember now. Well,
Wait. I didn't say I don't remember.
No, don't argue. Let her respond, Ms. Dominique. You asked the question, so let her answer.
So when I had the conversation with you, you told me about the incident as well as Ann. And you were pointing, I don't know what y'all were fighting about or disagreeing, I should say, but you were pointing in her face, and she kept saying, Dominique, get your finger out my face. And finally, and you told me she called you a bitch because she said, bitch, get your finger out my face. And then that's when you did.
That's a lie, and you know that's a lie.
No. Question. You have another question for her?
Oh, you said that I disrespected your brother's home when I came at your brother's request.
Ask the question. You're telling
Family
me.
reunion on the
Ask
way.
her question.
Oh, well, well, you know what, Your Honor, I don't have any more questions because it's all a lie.
Okay, stop. Thank you, LT. I know you need to get back to work. Thank you. Stay safe out there.
Thank you.
All right, who else? Mr. Lee.
That's all.
Police officer.
All right, there's a
Just
Shelby
testified.
Moore and Houghton. That's one of your witnesses, right?
Shelby Moore and Rohelia Horton. That's my daughter and that's my brother-in-law.
What is your daughter gonna know firsthand? Hold on. Ms. Moore, can you take yourself off mute? Raise your right hand, ma'am. Thank you. Do you swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, just go ahead and tell me what you know firsthand, not what your mom told you. What have you seen firsthand?
Okay, well, on
For sure.
January 21st, I spoke to both of them. My mom and him had a disagreement earlier that day because she was at work, and like for a few days before that, she was leaving in the middle of the day to help him pick his wife up. Hello? Oh, to help him pick his wife up to use the restroom or something of that nature. That day on the 21st, when I had spoke to her, she was a little upset because I had spoke to her early in the day because she wasn't able this day to leave work. And I guess he asked my little brother to help, and she got upset with that and she said no. And so later on that day,
What's the big deal about the kid helping?
While I'm at work. And when I get off the train, I call him back. It must have been around 6 o'clock and 6 or 7 o'clock. And when I spoke to him, he told me, okay, well, now because my mom's at work and she can't come and help in the daytime, that he's trying to figure out a solution. So he offered her a contract.
Put that down. What are you doing? Put that down.
So he offered her a contract. I got an email of the contract. And so she didn't want to sign it. So that's where all the mishap came in, because he figured that was going to be the solution. She didn't want to sign it because before she got there, they had a whole verbal agreement, which I don't agree with whatever verbal agreement they had, because obviously it wasn't working because they both didn't understand it. He meant it one way, she took it another. And so the verbal agreement wasn't working out. That's the reason why she got the job in the first place, because she came down there to solely take care of his wife. So now when he gave her the agreement and she didn't want to sign, he got upset. So when he called me, he was telling me about what happened. And he said that was his solution. You know, they were both a little upset and were having a disagreement. And then he was like, if she doesn't want to sign this agreement, then she's going to have to go. So I'm like, whoa, wait. When is she going to have to go? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'm asking her now. And I'm like, well, that's a little bit crazy to just be laying this on her now. Like, she has my brother out there. And all I kept telling him was about my brother. Like, you can't just rearrange everything right now. Like, he just got placed in school. And he even offered me that night. He was like, well, I'll get you a plane ticket to come out here and you can help your mom move her things out. And I'm like, but where's she gonna go? Like, just because y'all agreement isn't working out no more, she can't just get up and leave. So we spoke about it for about a whole hour. He calmed down and he agreed with me that he wouldn't force my mother out. And I spoke to him about my little brother. I'm like, look, he's seen enough. They moved all the way from Virginia for you. You can't do this. He told me that night that, okay, I'm going to give her some time. We didn't set up an exact date that day of how many months that he would let her stay. But he told me he was going to let her stay and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do that to my little brother. After the conversation, I have text messages from him. And, you know, he was like, thanks for the conversation. I just want to let you know that, you know, everything is going to be good with your brother. So I thought everything was fine. And then 3 weeks go by and everything is fine. She's going to work. The only thing that was different was now them two weren't talking anymore. So they weren't talking anymore. My mother would just go to work and come home. So now in my head, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to give her a little bit of time to get herself together, figure it out, because their agreement of her staying there and taking care of the wife is just not going well. It's just no communication and what really was supposed to happen, how much she was supposed to get paid, what was going on. So I'm thinking, okay, everything is fine. She has a couple of months. She's going to figure it out.
What?
And that's going to be it. And then boom.
Thank you. I'll take it.
He does this. So I really don't know. I don't know. And Just to reiterate, before when we had the conversation and he kept asking me, not only did he ask me, since she doesn't want to agree, I'll give you a plane ticket or whatever. He also called my grandfather. So I told my mom, you need to call the police and make a police report and let them know what's going on, that he's trying to evict you out the home. So she called and she did that. But everything was fine after that. I thought everything was fine. He went on a business trip last week. My mother was still in the home. It was no threats. It was no confusion. So I'm not understanding how you felt threatened, but you left your wife and your kid with my mom.
Good question.
That's my wife. My kids are out of the house.
Okay. All right, Ms. Moore. Well, thank you so much. You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on. There's one more person that's in the waiting.
Yeah. So the question would be to
Let me
Shelby.
Let me hear from this person.
Shelby's gone,
Okay.
Jay.
Yeah, she's long gone.
Okay.
There's one more person. Just let
Who
me do
dis?
this.
Yep.
Sir, if you could take yourself off mute and raise your right hand.
Who's this cat?
Mr. Halton.
Yes.
All right. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right.
The birthdays. Thank you,
Firsthand,
Shells.
specifically that you've seen firsthand, and I really don't want to hear anything else about this deal from her moving from Virginia. I've heard that.
Well, I only had a brief conversation with Chris. After they had the altercation, I had gave him a phone call to see what was going on.
Who's Chris?
That's my middle name. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, threw me off.
To clarify.
No, I'm sorry about that. That's why I go by.
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
We just had a brief conversation on the telephone. I had called him to see what was going on. He was telling me everything that's going on, but the facts about it, I had just called him to try to calm down things, and I had just come up with my opinion on my options, and I said, can we work it out anyway? And I said, well, is it a way where you can help her move into a new apartment? She don't have anything and family over there. So, we talked about something. He said, yes, I can help her get a U-Haul truck, and I can help her get into a apartment. And then I had said, all right, that's fine. That will work out. I would reach out to her and see if that's feasible for her. And I told him it's going to take some time for her to do it. She's not going to be able to do it for that. But I know she has to look for an apartment. Then I told him if he knows somebody that has an apartment, whatever it is, to just de-escalate the situation that was going on in the house. And that was a brief conversation that we had.
Well, that was nothing.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
All right.
That was great that you guys had a brief conversation. The only thing we learned from that is people call him Chris by his middle name.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So
Chris.
I appreciate you doing that, Judge, because it's tough on the family, right? So, everything Ro just said is true, right? But what they don't, and what Shelby said is mostly true. But what they don't get is that what changed, right? Shelby told you, like, hey, we had a very productive, cordial conversation, right? However, she agreed, she disagreed, she didn't agree to come down because she understands how volatile the situation gets. So what they did not state to you, and that I think that you understand, is that the outburst and the emotion, the vile language and all of that is what changed.
6 hours a day, right?
Okay, that's what changed. All right, when the offer was made to her from Ro, right, you can get him back. She didn't want it. She wanted more money. Okay. And so there's just never enough. I want to be clear. We stated on, we sworn to tell the truth. I never offered her money. I offered her free room, board, so you can make your money. I work out of the home, Your Honor. I work out of the home. And so this would be an opportunity for her to, if you have no bills, if you don't have any utilities, no room, no board, I'm going to pay for the food and everything.
So
you can get yourself ahead.
So, aside from the agreement y'all have, this is really about violence and being in fear for your safety. That's what
Correct.
this is. Aside from an agreement that went south between families.
Correct.
So all I care about is, are you in fear for your safety or your wife's safety because of the threat?
That's 100%
Sorry,
yes.
Lenora.
Okay. Anything else from you, Mrs. Pickens?
Well, I know that I have the text message, and the day that the altercation took place, I texted him, I said, listen, and this is his wife's name, Ann, just told me that you had Mikey shifting her going to the bathroom. And I asked him not to do it. His response is, I placed the belt on Ann, placed Mikey hands on top of both rings, and asked him to use the grip that felt easier. He chooses not to use the belt. My son is 14 years old. He's a minor. He was never brought here to assist no one with nothing. Okay? I was assisting. Okay, and then when you went out and got me to
talk to him directly.
No, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, but when you went out, I didn't do that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, good luck, Georgia. Seriously.
When James
Best of
Lee
luck.
and his,
You got this.
we call him Chris. That's the name we call him by. Okay. He decided to go out one day. We ordered food from the restaurant, and he come back like, oh, I have good news. And we're like, what is the good news? Oh, I found you a job, Dominique, and I found somebody to do your eyebrows to his wife. I was insulted because I thought I was there to do a job. I cook for them every day. Like I said, I did a list to do this. He gave me a list. I have everything, Your Honor. I printed. I lost wages from work. I lost money with him. My bills are backed up. I was evicted with false allegations because he said I threatened him. I never once verbally threatened him. I never physically threatened him. I never destroyed any property in the home. I never touched anything. I came in, went, and then when we had the disagreement, I knew that, yeah, I'm going to have to leave because I don't want to be somewhere where I'm not wanted. Okay? Because I was always stable. I never reached out to him. He reached out to me.
Yeah,
okay.
Eyebrows. Those are weird go-to.
I have proof on everything. Whatever you need, I can submit.
Okay, so here's the thing. He feels threatened. There's been stuff posted there. There's things that you've said, and then
no, wait. I have the post. I have that post, and that's not true, Your Honor.
Okay, but
that's not true. That's not true.
Lieutenant read it.
That's
so. It was a post. It's Facebook. That doesn't bother me as much as you said something to him too. But you did that. But you've got this lady with Lou Gehrig's that you're yelling at her in her face, and your child is a minor. Let me tell you, Miss Phoenix Gaston works with me at night, and I think her kid is 14. Miss Reed, you saw him. He is huge. He is a big, big, big young man. So just because he's a minor, I'm okay. If he was strong enough to help, he's strong enough to help. There was nothing wrong if Mr. Lee needed help. However,
exactly.
So what I'm going to do here
He
is
lived there in the house. Help out.
And if you both place your email in the chats, we're going to send it to you. You have anything else over at Mr. Lee and Mrs. Lee's house, you can return one time of law enforcement to pick it up. But
look at Dominique's face.
This doesn't need to be going on. There doesn't need to be threats. Whatever deal y'all work out, that's between y'all. But it doesn't need the threats and any type of violence.
I never, Your Honor, I have the Facebook post. Can I read it to you? I never threatened them in no.
Both of them read it to me. Read it to me. I've made my decision, but read it to me.
They read part of the post. That's not
the relevant
post.
part. That's the relevant part.
No, it's not the relevant part.
Oh.
I said, I learned a valuable lesson in the past few months. Take your time when making decisions, people, especially with family. People need you and act like you need them. I forgive me because what I know, mental health issues are so high. People are selfless and selfish. Never look down on someone unless you helping them or up, because tomorrow is not promised. Nothing is promised but life and death. So be careful what and how you treat people, because you will feel the wrath one way or another. I am a warrior and will always do things with an open heart and mind. I will stand my ground. I never pointed in Mrs. Lee's face. I never had her altercation with me was.
What you said you want to do was read the post.
Okay. Okay.
And you
Is there more?
Okay, I'm not finished. It's a long.
Finish.
Can I ask you a question, Your Honor?
I just want you to finish reading.
It's not a manifest, Creed.
Finish reading.
Because I feel like I'm being biased.
You're
I feel
being
like
biased?
I'm being biased because I did not threaten anyone.
Or somebody's being biased against you.
You know what?
Okay,
She's
I'm
made
gonna
up a new word.
finish. I will stand my ground because too many
in
people.
these TPO hearings think that I'm being biased. I'm listening to the facts.
I just was put out of my residence. I've been in his residence since August of 2022.
That's not
This
very
is
long.
not something that just took place. Okay, this is, I've been there since August.
Please
I
finish
am
the
displaced.
post. Finish reading the post, Ms.
Good
Okay.
point.
I am part of the Most High. I am one with the Creator. So if you think you're hurting me, you already hurt. If you think you're getting away with anything, you're not. Okay? God bless. This is a curse that needs to be broke. Believe me, you will be corrected with me because I fear no man or woman for that matter. Let's do better, and because life is short. I never threatened him. I read it to the police officer. They didn't think it was a threat. The two officers that served me, and he just wanted
They
me.
probably just
off
want to get
his
away from her. She wouldn't
property.
stop talking.
I wanted to get off the property, but I came and gave up so much. I have to get my finances in order to go.
Whoa. Stop
And
the
now
car.
you're gonna put, like, I'm not a violent person. I've never had a violent. I know he put unknown crimes. I read the entire
Unknown
thing
crime.
that he
That's
put out against me, Your Honor.
I'm listening.
Can I ask you, how would you feel?
No, ma'am, you can't ask me any questions.
Okay, then.
What does she
All right.
expect him to
So
write a
once you
check
place
to
your
her for
emails
all
in
of
the
her
chat,
moving
Yes.
back to Richmond, Virginia?
Yes. Yes. She wants that money, son. She wants her to pay. He should
man.
pay her. Look, you make a deal with somebody that you're going to go and you're going to live in their house.
Right.
They're going, and I understand he was going to cover all her expenses for being there, he was going to give them rides. He was going to do all
I'm
these
sorry,
things.
Amber. I'm trying to.
Oh, it's okay. I got your email, so
You got it?
While
Okay.
you
All
say
right.
that,
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
let me understand this. He brought her there under the assumption
2 o'clock calendar.
that he was going to take care of all that, right?
Real name.
Okay.
And Judge,
And
Meet
then
her while
switch
she's doing
things
that.
up. Then switch things up to the pay. You can have pay and then the rent. And now it seems that since everything went sour, she's just there looking for money, right? Or she
Yeah,
just
'cause-
wants the money, him to pay her off.
I think she got a little disgruntled that she didn't have any cash.
There- like,
He
there you
did go. offer $100, on top of all the stuff. Because I mean, understand he's covering all her expenses, but at the same time, you want a little spending cash. You want a little something. So
Yeah.
then I think that's why he got her the job,
Mhm.
and he was
Yes.
gonna,
Yes.
since he's working from home, he could, she could still get all those other great benefits of living there, but at the same time, she could earn a little bit of scratch.
Yeah.
Then she throws her, he hurts his back and all this stuff. So and to me, I understand the kid's a minor. I understand.
But to help
But he's
move-
not putting, that's like me, going to ask my son, hey, will you take out the garbage? He's like, well, I would, Dad, but I'm a minor. I can't
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
I can't be doing any
'Cause-
kind of,
'cause it's
there's
a
a guy
family
that
member.
does that.
It's a family member, remember.
Yeah, this
They're
is
family.
a family member asking, would you help me out? You're right there. I've got a hurt back. Your aunt, she's sitting here with the Lou Gehrig's disease. She needs the help. It's nitpicking, but at the same time, now she's lost her job. She's going to have to move. She's got to go. But we're supposed to feel bad for her, and I just can't. You knew what you were getting into. She's trying to, take this guy, put him over the coals, and let's not forget his entire family. Everybody thinks he's a multi-millionaire. He may have $1 million in the bank. I don't know. We heard he lives in a great neighborhood, but at the same time, just because the man's made a good living, don't mean he should. Take care of her and her son.
Exactly.
I mean,
sorry, that was a very confusing one, but I think that we got a pretty good grasp.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I do believe, allegedly that she was sticking her finger in the lady's face and saying, I gotta go change your pissy cousin. The lady can't help that. I mean, that's her job. Caretakers, that's a special breed of person. And I don't think you can just put anybody in that position.
No, you can't. Nope. For sure.
Everybody thinks they can do it until they have to do it. Even my family learned that lesson very quickly with my mother, and people assume they could be Florence Nightingale. And then it gets to the point like, well, why is this happening here? Well, I'm not a nurse. Exactly.
And burning some bridges along the way too.
Absolutely. Burning the bridges. Don't come back to Mike's house. Damn it. Burning bridges with people is because they think that they can do these things, and he should definitely hire professional help for his wife. I think he was trying to save a couple bucks too, but at the end of the day, he's got to spend the money. You want to hang out for another one, Creed, or you got?
That's what I was going to ask. We're setting up to blast through these, I would imagine.
She's doing the 2:00. See who's here. Right. See who's, she'll do the whole roll call again, and then they'll jump back into it with the next case. I love that Manning. I think Manning's got an idea. People, want to see these. So she's leaving them for a little bit of time, allowing people to see them, not taking the breaks and throwing everybody out. She took like an hour break today, but still left the cam going, left everything running, and didn't cut it off.
I like that.
So, she understands everything that's going on. And Georgia, I saw what you were saying.
Yeah.
Alcohol is a very tough thing to get off of. A lot of people don't understand that. It becomes a very dependent thing, and getting help and properly doing it is the right idea. You don't want to take that into your own hands.
And thank you. We got such an awesome fam here in a chat. Many of you say, listen, do you want my number? Call anytime. I love that. A lot of people dealt with that and still deal with it to this day, including somebody very close to us with Knox that we joke about a lot, make a lot of, but listen, love the dude. And he has been sober for a very long time. And I never, as much as I wanted him to get sober and go through that, I never thought he would. I really didn't.
Yeah, we make a lot of jokes about do the programs, do the steps, do all that stuff, go to the meetings.
Yep.
Those are very important as far as getting that taken care of. Because at the end of the day, we want you to be around here. You can't do that if your cirrhosis of the liver has set in and you're out the door. But Manning is, again, our favorite. She is the only judge that we watched that reached out to Creed and I and thanked us. Took time out of her day to thank us for what we do, because it's letting everyone know what's being dealt with on a daily basis here in the court.
Well, it's true. And, it is sad. A lot of this has to do with family. A lot of it that we see on a daily basis, even outside of the TPO stuff. Man, it is crazy. I don't know, up to you, Mikey. If we want to wait for one more, we can, or we can cut it here. And
well, with the early start, we're doing good on time. So if she can get quickly to another one that we can knock out probably in like 30 minutes, I think we'll be good. If that's the case, we'll see.
Get into a 3-hour one.
Yeah, if we get into one that's got a bunch of lawyers and stuff like that, that's going to be a long one. We'll take it a second and see what she's got and listen to these fine folks and all the new people. I didn't get to thank Mad Irishman. Said that he really enjoyed being here, that we had a great chat and things. That is the difference between us and all those law tubers and stuff. Yeah, we're nerds too. Of course, we like to enjoy this, but it's a way more interactive here where we like to make you guys an important element of what's going on. And that to me is the gold in rule, Creed. And don't forget at 4:05 today, we're going to be doing We Gotta Chase Florida Friday, Creed.
Always look forward to Florida Friday.
Does it get any better? Oh, jerky.
Yes, we're here. And I'd like to just talk right now, please, if you can.
You
Is that what you said? Okay,
Is that a
everybody-
belt?
Are you okay with that? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Alina.
Oh, what?
Report to Judge Manning what you've done with regard to getting your job back. What you've done.
Oh, I reapplied my job. We're still waiting for them to call me right now. Because of the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day, they kind of use that excuse and said they're very busy, so they haven't called me yet. But I've been working really hard on my school because my school has this new program for me where I do like volunteer hours to get credit for graduation. I've so far made how much? I've done 5 hours, 1 hour,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 12 hours.
12 hours total so far. And we just had the talk yesterday and I've already gotten 12 hours. I'm supposed to get 150, right?
I think 137 or so.
Like either 150 or 37 hours all, and I've already gotten 12. So it's been pretty good.
So what's going on is that Alina didn't show up to her job at Publix for 30 days, so you're automatically separated.
Oh.
That was last time. Right after this court hearing, the last one,
30 days. Yeah,
went up
that
to
usually
Publix
does.
and spoke with them and explained her depression and anxiety. And they
Oh,
said they
no.
felt the whole thing was a misunderstanding, and they said that they would hire her back right away.
Oh,
Well, then
That's-
Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl and the Publix people are really busy, so they haven't called her yet. I think they will call her. I mean, I do remember when she was hired, it took them a couple of weeks for them to kick into gear. So she hasn't really made any money, but do you want to tell Judge Manning what your goal is?
My goal is for the first paycheck I get, I give my mom $100, no questions asked. Like I'm either gonna
Nice.
send it to her or I'm going to give her $100 in cash. But like I made it my top priority goal before I even pay a bill or anything. I'm gonna give her $100 to get like a little bit off the debt. Just that's like my mom didn't ask me to do that goal. I just said right away to her, I said that's my goal I'm gonna make. And I wanted to do it before I had this meeting with you, but it didn't work out like that. But still I still am like on that goal and I'm still gonna complete it.
So what do you think, Ms. Horsberger? Sounds like she's trying. I think that my daughter took our last court hearing very seriously. And the next day she jumped into action and went up there and got her job back, which is no small feat.
I'm guessing the mom
So I
had
think
put a
that she's done
TPO against
everything
her
that she
daughter,
can
maybe?
do. I mean, my only remaining question would be, you know, we have a plan for the first 100, but we have a, 753. So what's your plan? I mean, out of every paycheck, you should be.
She owes
Out of
her
every
money
paycheck,
over
I'm gonna give first.
Sounds that way.
I'm gonna do the math. See, like my goal is to get you $100 first of all, and second of all, every paycheck I
For the
get,
moment,
I need
yes,
to
Laura.
budget it out. So to leave some for you, leave some for paying the checks, paying the bills I have like enough for everyone.
Yeah. But I think the first thing, remember, I think I ought to go to mom because she's paying for everything. So. I mean,
Right, but I still have a phone bill and stuff I gotta pay.
Yeah, we talked about that in Hulu. But I'm
No,
just
is there some
paying
shirts?
mom $50 at least. Yeah. I think you pay
$50 each paycheck.
the
Yeah.
pay, right? You know, if you got a little more, because you want to pay it off soon, like some people
Allegedly.
do on their cars, like I did, then you can give them a little more. But it sounds like you're making good strides. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
A success story.
You guys getting along better?
I mean, it's like a mother-daughter relationship. We have our ups, we have our
Cell
downs,
phone.
and I will admit, and I'm not proud of it, but I've been like a little yelly at her lately because I've been on so much like stress because I have an issue with blood draw. So we've been talking about that. And I've been a little snappy at everyone for it. And because I'm absolutely downright terrified of it. So like I even said to my therapist, I said, you guys have to knock me out with the drug to get my blood drawn. That's how serious it is. It's kind of weird.
Knock you out with the blood draw, then they're sticking you with a needle. You don't like needles.
Yeah, it's just, I know, but it's weird because I can take like a tattoo any day, like wherever my tattoo is. I can take one any day, but like
Was
a
that
blood
a
draw is,
tattoo?
like, traumatizing for me. I don't know how to like. It's
Yeah.
really funny because my
Wait a
teacher was
minute,
like,
I
Alina,
forgot
you
it's right here.
have a tattoo. How can you not get your blood drawn? That's
You know,
worse
my
than a
tattoo
blood draw
cream,
because you're
come
getting
on.
stabbed
I
so
love
many
it.
times.
It's ink.
I'm like, I honestly don't know how to answer that question.
Right.
So, Judge Manning, Your Honor, I think that Alina has gotten a taste of the judicial system. And I think that she understands.
Miss Rutledge. Miss Rutledge just raised her up. I was like,
John.
for a taste of the judicial.
Sean
Say what
lays
now?
down the
I
challenge.
said that was for Miss Rutledge, who's a lawyer on here. She's been in front of me, so I think she has an idea what kind of taste she got of the judicial.
Yeah, well, so I think that she takes this stealing idea very seriously now. I
Ooh,
already
she was
told the court
stealing.
last time what would happen if she ever stole from me again.
Ah,
So
she
I
stole
think that
from
we're kind of
Mara.
good
There
for
you go.
now, Judge Manning.
Did she
I
watch?
felt
Did she
she
watch
owed it.
Court at Night for the people that were trying to
Yeah.
get bond?
No, but I've been watching a lot of detective videos, honestly, and court videos, just not that one.
She just didn't want to see me again.
Say you love, we got a case.
Well,
Yes,
I'm,
please.
and I'm glad that
I'll
we
pay
talked
off one of
about
your
helping. Like I said,
Whatever
we're
you-
not
I-
living in the world.
Make that payment for your mom.
And just for a minute. So you gotta, you don't have but one mama, you gotta be sweet to her. Don't steal from her, don't do all that. And work with, get everything you need to do. If you need it, talk to your therapist, find out how to address stuff, Oh, you talk to your mom. I think she's there to help, even though at your age, you probably think she's not.
That's what she said.
So I was wondering if it's a good time to discuss dismissing the TPO.
Okay.
What do you?
Can I actually tell you about that real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
So the police came right after. No, I'm gonna tell her.
We don't need this, honey.
No, I know the facts that happened. I know that.
She knows what happened.
You
honey.
do? Okay,
Please.
because
There's a lot of people waiting to talk to Judge
I know,
Manning. We don't need.
Mom,
No,
but
no,
it
no,
is
no, no,
kinda
no, go
serious
ahead.
because I'm
Go
not
ahead. We'll
technically
wait.
in
Go
this
ahead.
house right now.
Judge Manning
why.
knows that you're.
I get it. I understand.
It's
I
okay.
understand
She's about to get
everything.
yelly with her
What about
mom.
me dismissing it?
No, I was just saying, I would like to discuss with you whether or not, I kind of feel that this is a good time to dismiss the TPO.
Okay, well, that means, Alina, that you did so good, she wants to dismiss it.
I would have waited.
That's good.
Let
till
it
she
run
gave
out.
you
Yes.
$100 or $200.
Rutledge likes to make money, but you'd have to hire Miss Rutledge for something like that. Miss Rutledge, what would you charge somebody to represent them for theft? Just a basic theft charge.
Misdemeanor theft,
What's misdemeanor?
5,000.
Okay, that's just a plea amount.
Where did this start with
Yes.
the gender of
What about you have to take it to
Flushing?
trial?
Please tell me how we got onto this.
If she wanted to take it to trial, it would be somewhere, you're getting close to almost $10,000.
So it's kind of like that. That's why I tell people who get DUIs, that $50 Lyft ride is a lot cheaper than a DUI.
They allow like no violent contact.
Oh, that's
I'm proud
right.
of you. And anytime you don't want to reach back out and tell me how you're doing, I want to hear, because it sounds like just
Typically, you don't hear that from Manning, though. That's typically other people.
Right, a lot better than where you were last time.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, as Alina said, she has been under a lot of stress. I had to go the real world route, not just like talk therapy, but bring her into the real world. So, I think that it's been a little bit of a wake up call.
I'm going to keep an eye on you, Alina. So I want you to, you and your mom can email us. Y'all got this, and let us know how you're doing.
I'll probably email you the first check I make to her.
What will we do? Email Amber?
Yeah, you can email Amber. Let me know how you're doing.
She would forward it to you? Okay.
I mean, I do have Judge Manning's personal email, but I'll
Now,
keep
does
that.
this TPO stay on her record? I was told by the front office that it would be.
Good, we're taking care of everything.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, do I need to do any paperwork or we're done?
No, ma'am, just place your email in the chat and we'll email you, unless we already have it, we'll email you a copy of the dismissal.
She just
Thank you. We couldn't have had a better judge, really. Many blessings.
Yeah, she's
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
Very
Camilla.
true.
Thank you so
100%.
Keep me up to date on how you're doing, okay?
I will.
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
Success
Your
story.
Honor. Thank you.
Success.
All right, so,
Bravo.
Mr.
Bravo.
Brown and Miss Brown. Where is
Way
Miss-
to go, Judge Manning.
Yeah.
Another
present,
family
Mr.
fixed.
Brown. Yeah, I'm on the phone.
All right, both of y'all and Miss
Hello,
Brown, have
iPhone.
you, sir, have you had an opportunity to speak with Miss Rutledge, or would you like one?
I spoke with Miss Rutledge, and if she'd like to speak to me about anything else, I'm more than open. She's very kind.
Well, Miss Rutledge,
She's
you
a
think it'll help, or
beautiful
should we just go ahead
woman.
with the hearing?
Well, based on my conversation with him, I think he needs, like I was telling him, there's currently a criminal case where my client has a bond where she cannot go to his home, she cannot contact him, and cannot go to the home without police escort.
She does. You're
His
right.
main thing is he does not want Donna Brown around him. And I explained to him, my client has been to jail. She understands that she cannot contact him. She cannot show up at his house without the police. And that's just to get her things this one time. They are going through a divorce in New Jersey. And I was just explaining to him, and I don't know if he needs, this civil temporary protection order is not going to make it's not going to make any more reason why she would be able to come over this criminal case. So I don't know if he quite understands that. And I'm not sure, what remedy he wants except for her to stay away. And I told him that she has to do.
And you told him, Ms. Rutledge, what happens if she violates that bond condition?
She goes to jail. He calls the police, she can go to jail. So she understands that.
It's a new one on me.
She's never had any contact with the criminal justice system. She spent 3 days in jail. It was very traumatizing for her. She knows that she does not need to contact him. She has an attorney in New Jersey. They are resolving, the divorce in New Jersey. She understands that they're moving forward with the divorce. So she knows she cannot contact him. And I just wanted him to understand that. He just said he felt like he was failed by the system. And I said, well, there is a bond in place. And I don't know what remedy he wants with this temporary protection order.
And Ms. Rutledge, did you explain to him that if she violates a bond condition, not only could she be
Good on her. Good on her, by the way, to allow this kind of thing. We allow bribes here, of course. She's trying to talk them out of proceeding with this. The Miss Brown won't contact him, but Mr. Brown, stick to your guns, son. And Mr. Wexler, stick to yours. Thank you so much, Creed. I know Creed's watching. He's jumping up and down on the porches as we speak. Back to the action.
If she violates it, and then the prosecutor has a choice whether or not they want to charge her with aggravated stalking. I was going to sneeze. So they can charge her with aggravated stalking, and that carries up to 10-year sentence. So
Mr. Brown had a barber shop.
Bond conditions, it's really going down a rabbit hole full of trouble that I'm pretty sure Ms. Brown wouldn't want. So, I mean, I know that you said something about you think that the system or the county had failed you. So what other, she's got a whole bunch more pressure on her right now not to break that bond condition. So what else is it that you're asking for?
Are you talking to me, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I just want to I want to prolong that TPO as long as I can for the best interest, not just only of me, of her as well. I don't want any problems, anything and any belongings that she have. I'm more than willing to give it to her when police escort, because again, I don't.
Okay, so hold on. Her bond conditions are more restraining than a TPO. She basically has a TPO through the criminal system.
Yes,
You have one of those
yes.
against her. Do you not feel that that's enough? Because this is like wearing belt and suspenders, which unfortunately
She really is.
Okay, Your Honor, I just want the best for me to for the system don't fail me again.
Don't fails me now.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, right now, if she violates our bond condition, she gets rearrested.
I think it's Mr.
and
Brown.
She could get charged with aggravated stalking.
So what are I'm just asking kindly, what are you asking me?
I mean,
oh, look at that, Sean.
Do you know what I talk about when somebody wears a belt and suspenders?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you feel that you would need belt and suspenders?
To hold their pants up, cover their butt.
Why do they need to wear them both at the same time? They're
Double
both
cover
made
your
for the
ass.
same thing. You're not supposed
Correct.
to wear a belt if you have them suspenders, or suspenders if you wear them a belt. So it's like
Yes,
wearing,
I
how do you want two pair of pants on at the same time?
yeah.
So I mean,
I can barely hear you, but go ahead.
And
Your Honor.
Sean, thank you. My
right,
God.
I mean, you got it's like
That
wearing
was a
two pair
biggie.
of pants at the same time. Right now, there's more consequences.
Been Kenneth Block.
If she violates her bond condition, she get charged with ag assault. Number two,
I heard the
if
beep
she
3
violated
times. No, I can't
TPO,
unhear it.
you make a
Barber
He is at a
shop
barber
here.
shop.
It
I was
depends.
right.
I can't even tell you. Some people
Ugh.
get arrested for violating them, some do not. Most of the time, people come back here and file a contempt, and then I make the decision what to do. But I'm not going to charge her criminal. It's only going to be some sort of civil. In a criminal case, she would get charged criminally for anything she does, which would be a heavier price to pay for violating.
Well,
that.
yeah, well, I definitely want her to be charged criminal if she does something to me.
Okay, well, I can't do that. Only the bond conditions can do that. So are you fine with it just being her bond conditions? And Mr. Brown, you're free that if she changes her bond conditions get changed, which I don't think that they will, then you could come back and reapply.
Oh God.
Oh Lord.
And I mean, I don't know if Ms. Rutledge could say that she would accept service to make it easier for you. I mean, I don't know.
I will, and you know, in
They're trying to
Fulton
persuade him
County,
to not move forward with
you know,
this.
I have a case from May of last year, and nothing has happened on it yet. So her bond will be in place. You know,
Is it a misdemeanor or a felony?
Wow.
Well, no, this one is a felony, but I mean, it's just such a slow
Is he
process.
gonna go nuts
You know what
on
I'm
this,
saying?
or-
So it's a misdemeanor
Oh,
now?
well, what happened, May?
Hold on, Mr. Brown, hold on.
I'm
If it's a
sorry.
misdemeanor, yeah, I mean, they've got, what, a year to accuse it?
Right. Yes. So she, you know, she will have this bond, and you know,
Her bond conditions could last longer because it could take another year to get it to trial.
exactly. So, you know, and if it makes him, I will accept service. You know, but I just think that this is a divorce and there's criminal charges pending. So I don't.
Well, that sounds like
know.
fun. Can we hear?
I think they're against Miss
Yes,
Brown.
I want to ask. I heard Miss Rutledge said something happened last May. What happened last
So
May?
she's talking about another client of hers. She's not talking about.
That's what I'm saying. I thought she was speaking about me.
No, she's talking about another case that something happened last May. They have bond conditions and they have it, and those bond conditions are still there. The bond conditions will stay unless they're changed, but her bond conditions will stay on.
Mr. Brown right now.
TPO will last. How about this, Mr. Brown? I'll put you in a breakout room with Ms. Rutledge and see if you two can talk about it and get a little bit better understanding from her. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is
There you go. I'll send you that breakout room too.
Boy, Donna Brown is mean mugging everybody.
Yeah,
right
she
now.
is. She's not broke at all. She's like,
Yeah, she's stone faced, man.
Final case of the day. So I got Mr. McGriff and Mr. Smith.
final case of the
Oh,
day.
wow.
All
All right.
Raise your right hands.
While they do that, don't forget today, Florida Friday, ladies and gentlemen, on We Gotta Chase.
All right, DL.
Laying a beautiful pool
Thank you to whoever had posted. I think actually Colin
yes,
Collins
true.
from
Okay,
Mexico.
place your name. Place your
New
name.
York.
Ms. McGriff, you said yes.
Posted that in
All
our
right, so here's
Facebook
what I want you to do, Ms. McGriff. Unless,
page, whatever it is.
Money well spent.
unless it's all one action, versus a fight happened and then different things started happening after that. Start with the most recent event that you did, that you complained about, like here's.
Where
my
did that
kid needed
start?
to
How
get
did it get on that? Anyways, that Flesh is a woman.
And if
I'm
you're
so
gonna be
confused.
specific for me, please, like, he called
I know
me
Flush's real
350
name,
times in December. He
so I
called me
couldn't
in
play this
January
game.
many times. I told him to stop calling, things like that. So if you're gonna say he harassed me, you gotta tell me, like, what did he do? Because he kept texting me, and if he threatened you, you have to tell me what I threatened. Okay, Ms. McGriff?
Yeah, well, it's been an on and off situation. It started November the 7th. And I was outside with my dog. I was over 20 feet away from my residence, which is directly next door to Mr. Smith. At first, his girlfriend, Miss Alexander, made some threats about popping my dog. I was talking on the phone. I ended that conversation. It's on surveillance, from the apartment surveillance and from my surveillance, where Mr. Smith then came out of the house, walked towards myself and my dog, which was he was on a leash. We were again over 20 feet away from him. He approached me. You can see the gun on his waist. I don't know what he was trying to come shoot me or what.
She's the chirp.
We had words.
Yeah.
He then motioned and said, "Well, I'm going to shoot you," and he used these vulgar lesbian terminologies. Terms.
Smith, I'm gonna mute you because somebody's sitting beside you and talking to you, so they're not gonna be able to testify, and I don't want to hear anything from you.
She said lesbian
Go ahead, Ms. McGriff.
terminology?
He said that he was going to shoot me in the face. He was going to shoot my dog. I made reports to the leasing office. This has happened on numerous occasions. Every time I would have some type of report of a noise disturbance, then there would be Mr. Cedric Smith brandishing his gun. There would be stares of intimidation anytime that I'm taking my dog in and out. It's been to the point that I'm not even comfortable with taking my dog outside on the property where I pay rent. I end up going down the street, or sometimes I would take my dog out back. I'm just trying to do any and everything that I can to avoid all types of physical and emotional injuries and dealing with the constant threats on the stares of intimidation. I made a noise complaint on January the 13th at the leasing office. The following morning, on January the 14th, I noticed Mr. Smith leaving. I left shortly thereafter. By the time that I pulled up to the red light, I noticed Mr. Smith got out of the line of the red light, which I was approaching behind him. And when he got out from in front of the red light, he pulled the vehicle into the parking lot of the store, which made his vehicle face me. And there was just these stares again. So I don't know what day would be today with all the senseless crimes and things happening today with people getting murdered. I don't know what day would be today that it would be my day. And I'm just trying to avoid any type of conflict or any type of harassment of any kind. It's just getting to the point. I'm just not comfortable with being at home. I'm just feel in fear and just threatened by the erratic behavior and the constant intimidation. I also have witnesses, and I have video of the both of them with making these threats.
Oh,
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you say he brandished a gun, do you have it like on his side and point to it, or do you pull it?
One time it was on his side at the time that he was in where I have him on video. You can hear the audio of him threatening to shoot me in the face. He actually had the gun in his hand, and I've seen it on numerous occasions.
I was
And
going to say, because she did
happened with
initially say that it was in the holster.
well.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Can you share that
patting
video?
it,
You know how to share your
looking
screen
at
and
her.
share that video?
This ought to be good.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, get ready. Are we sharing it, or are we just gonna put it up to the screen? Because she got it on her iPad. Remember, they're all
better be up-
iPads.
And it's got
Better be up
audio,
on the
there's a
screen.
little box
Right,
you
it
have
or
to
not.
click that says include audio. When you start to share.
Yeah, she's gonna show it to us this way. Wow.
I'm sorry, what am I supposed to be doing? Okay.
So when you go to share your screen, you have to click share. You have to click a little button.
Yes,
that says-
Jade. The very loud one that keeps going like that. That's me.
Where? On my, I have it on.
She's got a
Oh, I
house
gotta
full.
watch it on there. Okay, then you got to be real quiet so I can hear what's said.
Oh, sorry, Judge.
Oh, just share the damn thing. Come on.
What date was this, real quick?
This was November the 16th.
Okay, go ahead. No, put it in camera. I can't see it in front of the camera. There you go.
Come on, Fred. You can do that, Fred. F you, Howard.
You got this.
Fred. No.
No. Oh,
Can't hear
was
the
that Bigfoot?
There's also, did you hear?
I can't
No.
hear the audio.
We can't see the damn thing either, Fred.
Okay, so here you go, man. You gotta know where your camera is and hold your phone up like this so I can see it and have your audio turned up.
They're flexing her Apple.
Yeah,
I know where the audio is on there.
Yeah.
Probably won't stop. No, ma'am. I want to hear it and see it at the same time.
Come on, Fred.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh.
Oh, Fred.
Hold it like this. Back so I can see it. And hit play.
I see Judge Manning pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's a good picture.
I couldn't hear anything, man. I don't know why. Is the volume not turned up on your?
Yes, it is. It is turned up on the tablet.
Do you have it muted?
No, ma'am.
Go down there where that little speaker is.
Fred.
See the speaker at the bottom? No, turn it around. See that speaker at the bottom?
No, it's just a share button.
It's on a speaker. All right, try it again so I can turn it the other way so I can actually hear it.
This way?
Turn it up wherever the speaker's at and play it towards the speaker.
If only we could do something like that.
Play it
Right?
towards your microphone. I can hear it. Go ahead.
Oh, look at them now.
I mean,
Oh,
she can play the audio and I can show the visuals.
thank you. I see the breasts and what's wrong with the dog? Is it,
Mr. McGriff, I can't.
Its coat far too long.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I can't hear anything, but hold it up.
He has a
like this so I
slingshot
can at
on a
least watch
pew-pew,
the
right?
video
Am I
and you
right?
can tell me what's happening after I watch it, okay?
It's one of those, you know.
Oh, well, on this
airsoft.
video, he's actually standing in the doorway, but my doorbell camera is what captured.
Is that when he had the gun on him?
Ma'am?
Is that when he had the gun on him?
She said that
Yes.
he threatened her to pew pew her.
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
In the face, I believe, was the region.
And a big old steaming hot pot of beans too. Please, black-eyed
Big old beans.
All right, what else?
Oh, pretty much just it. There's
missed
just been stares of intimidation and making those threats with the gun that I'm concerned about.
I think in your petition, he's texted you or called you or something.
On that same day when I went to the leasing office, there were about 19 text messages from their phone after I made the police report that evening, because after the rent office had closed, when I came back, they were standing on the porch again with this gun again and making those threats again, which I ended up calling the police around 6:57 p.m. And the officer that came out to take the report, he mentioned to just pretty much just to cease and desist of what was happening. As soon as the officer left, that's when I got about 19 text messages from the phone.
19, wow.
At 6:57
What did
p.m.
the text messages say?
The text messages basically just said, well, you tried to get me arrested, but it's not going to work. There's just one. Well, hold on.
It's just him admitting to everything he's ever done. Never catch me with this illegal gun.
Yeah,
Mr.
there's just a
Reebok.
text message about just pictures of myself and my dog on the porch. Basically just pretty much just the nitpicking about me making these
We
reports.
could hear
And every
that.
time I make a report, there's
Remember-
always something.
Hold on.
Yeah, that was very
He
loud.
sent you a text
Understood that
message
perfect.
of a picture of your porch.
Yeah, pictures of my dog.
Okay, all right, hold on one second. Ms. Rutledge, did y'all handle it or? Hold on one second, Ms. McGriff.
Oh, back to the other one now.
He would like for me to talk to my client in a separate room about some property that he's saying is at her house.
Okay.
So I would like to talk to my client in a breakout room. I don't know why he didn't come out. I told him we're gonna go back in here, and he wants more time to get another attorney I told him that I'm not willing to come back. She, you know, she can't continue to pay. He was supposed to bring an attorney this time, so he wants an attorney.
All right, I'll put y'all in there and you can talk.
Okay.
I'm putting you two in breakout room 1. It says
Good luck with that,
Amber,
Miss
and Amber
Butler.
Sue is in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to work out. That's not going to work out at all.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Let me hear from you.
By the way, McGriff, way less popular crime fighting dog.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead. Let me hear from you.
Okay. This how it started. Like
needs to stop talking.
Who that is?
Okay. I got 2 young daughters. This is my neighbor. I got a
neighbor to stop. Tell whoever is beside you not to talk. Okay.
All right. That's my daughter, and my wife. All right. Okay. I got
down.
2 young daughters, a 7-year-old and a 15-year-old, and she have a pit bull, and we stay right next door to each other. And her pit bull is kind of aggressive, and my daughters are very scared of him. And so my wife had asked her one day as she was getting out of the car, can you hold your dog on the leash? Because my wife and my 2 dogs are scared of her. Just can you hold a dog on the leash when we come out the house, going to our car, or when we going in the house from our car? And I didn't say nothing. And so about a week or so later, they was coming back in, and I heard my daughter holler. She was trying to get in the door, and I asked her what was going on, and she said that dog was running up to me. And so I went ahead. I said, well, she didn't have the dog on the leash, and she said no, the dog was off the leash, and it looked like it was about to attack her. And so I walked outside. I did not have no gun, first of all.
Sean making a
I walked
raid.
outside just to ask her, can you please just hold your dog on a leash when me and my family coming in and out the house? And she just went off on me, just started snapping on me, talk to my homeboy, to my shit, get her homeboy over here. I said, ma'am, I don't know who your homeboy is. You my neighbor. I'm asking you.
Hate to say it.
I'm asking you to please hold your
He's
dog
right.
while me coming in and out the house. I got 2 dogs. I got evidence too. I got
Next step is I'm walking out there with a pew-pew.
right there
I don't
in front
blame
of my door when I come in and out my door.
If it's a
I
big
mean, I
dog,
don't have no problems with her. She be slamming. Ever since the incident happened, we have called the police and everything the same day, and she be slamming the door so hard, be scaring my daughter. I got a 7-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old daughter. They be asking me why she's slamming the door so hard, and we stay in a pretty kind of like rough area, and it scared my kids. And all I ask her, just please just hold your dog. I have no problem with her. I'm not trying to bother her in no kind of way. Me and my wife and my kids, we gonna move because she been real aggravating my family.
She is
like
right now,
I don't
giving
say
him
nothing to her. I go to work and come home.
That smirk.
I don't say nothing. I'm trying to raise my kids, and she just be giving me mean stares because the dog.
What she's doing now, you mean?
Now I'm a man. If somebody come up to me and if I have a pit bull and ask me, can you please hold your dog leash while they kids coming out the house, I'm gonna do that, man. Because I had a young son got mauled by a dog before.
Right now I am.
And
I get it.
I'm gonna do that. And I wasn't trying to hurt her. I wasn't trying to. I just asked her, please, can you just hold your dog? And she just
Keep your
went
dog
off.
on a leash,
I ain't got no problem with
Good
her. I
dog in
ain't trying to
general,
bother her.
If I
We
ain't kids around-
neighbors. Ever since that incident happened, I ain't did nothing to her. I don't stare at her. I don't even look at her. She stared at my wife and my kids funny. And my daughter's sitting right here next to me, and she can tell you that. Like, we have no problem. And I'm actually in the process of finna move because I don't want to deal with the situation. I just, I don't want this to hinder me from moving in my new house. I don't want this on my record. And I never tried to do anything. I just asked her as a man, can you please respect my wife?
Man to man.
Respect my wife and my
The ones
kids
that
when
are
we walk out the
trained to
door.
be,
She got
yeah.
a big pit bull, man.
They can
Big
also be
massive
trained to be
pit
sweethearts
bull.
too.
It's never on the leash. And we have
They
went to.
still need to stop talking, Mr. Smith. I don't want to hear them talking. They're talking to you.
Okay,
One more
stop
case,
talking.
Mr. Smith, do good.
Okay. And We went to the office about her and everything. The office people came down here and told her, even the police told her, it's against the law not to have your dog on a leash and holding the leash. The police, Atlanta police told me that. And I have no problem with her. I just want my kids to be safe while they come in and out the house. And she be outside with her dog. And she told me she don't have to hold her dog on a leash. She even told the police that. And that when the police said, that's against the law. And I'm not trying to bother her. I want to live my life. I'm taking care of my family and my kids. And I don't say nothing to her. I don't look at her.
Nice,
I have no problem with her. All I ask her just when me and my family come out the door, can you just, if you outside, please hold your dog leash. If you see her dog, you'll be scared of it. Cause I'm like scared of it. It's a big pit bull. And I got a 7-year-old and my 15-year-old, they 2 girls. Of course they gonna be scared. But I never threaten her in any kind of way like that. I don't want to hurt her. I'm not a person that hurt people.
He said
I'm
enough.
a good-hearted person. I have given her a ride to the store a couple of times. We was cool. We were friends. But all of a sudden, she just got mad when my wife asked her to hold her dog leash when we come in out the house. And ever since then, she been slamming the door. She slammed her door so hard, it knocked the pictures off my wall. But I still didn't say nothing. I went to the office and the office came to talk to her. And I ain't said nothing to her.
That's the same as
I
saying
just
something,
went to the office and I let my wife take care of it. And I have no problem with her. I just want her to respect me as I respect her.
There you go. Perfect. Right.
These some of the pictures of her dog right here in front of my house, you see? On the leash, that's right there in front of me with no leash. You can see the leash laying right there on her. And I walk out the door on numerous of times, and the dog have almost jumped on me, about to push me back in the house. He got another one right here.
Okay, so Ms. McGriff, do you not keep your dog on a leash?
Ma'am, at the time, that dog has always been on the leash. There's videos of surveillance from the apartment from each time that I've had an encounter with the 2 of them. My dog is always on the leash. I have witnesses. My dog is always on the leash. And that time, those pictures, I was painting. I was in the middle of painting something, and they were not even at home. And I even asked if it was okay if he would sit on that side. And he was on the leash. He's always on the leash. Like, I have witnesses. And there's surveillance. He's always on the leash. I've never had any complaints about my dog not being on the leash. And he's actually a 1-year-old puppy. He's not big and he is not aggressive. I have not had any issue with any other neighbors.
So when are you planning on moving, Mr. Smith?
I'm closing on my house. It might take another maybe a month or so, but I'm closing on my house now. Actually, I'm supposed to go this week or either beginning of next week to do a walkthrough. And I'm moving just fast as I can. I just bought me a new house. I'm buying. I'm not renting. And I just want to
it's
just be
on a
safe and raise my
like
kids
you guys
in a
said,
nice
there's nobody at the
environment.
end of it.
And I don't have no
Dog has a
problem with
leash
her. I
on,
never
yeah.
had a problem. I have
just on the leash.
Your Honor, if you ask her, I have given her a ride to the store. I've been nice to her. I ain't never did nothing out of the way. I just asked her one time to hold her dog on a leash, and she went off on me, told me she was gonna get her homeboys over here to do something to me and everything. And I came to her like a grown man.
Mr. Smith.
And, yes.
But, I mean, why'd you go out there with your gun and point to it and do all
No,
that?
Ma'am, I did not have a gun. That's a lie that she tell. I did not. I would never do that.
I thought they had it on video.
This apartment for almost 3.5 years.
We never
I'm
got
raising my kids. I would not do my kids like that. I would never do that.
Ms. McGriff, let me ask you a question. So, Mr. Smith, what are you looking at? Moving out 30 days?
Yeah, about 30, really April, because they got to do the close. We got to close it and everything. You know, it take a minute when you actually buying a house.
Yeah, I would say
just I'm scheduled to go look at it today. If I can't make it today, because I'm on the phone doing court, I'm gonna go do it probably Monday or Tuesday for my walkthrough. And then they're gonna do all the paperwork and stuff. I should be out of here by April, maybe a week after April or so. But I'm moving, and I don't have no problem with her. I don't stare at her. I don't
Sounds
do
like with
nothing
that
to her.
question that
I got
Doug
but
Manning's
I got
getting
my
ready
daughter
to
right here to
give
vouch
the
for
PTO.
you.
About the rule,
and she
yeah.
will let you
Sitting
know.
there, nobody that's sitting there can talk to you.
Oh,
But I mean,
okay.
McGriff, if we do something and make you folks come back,
ma'am,
like the second week of April for a compliance until he moves, would you be okay with that?
yes, I would, because I am still in fear because the accusations that I have made, and again, I've never spoken with an officer. Whatever officer he spoke with, I haven't spoken with them, but it's documented. The officer also has copies of audio and videos of these threats.
So Mr. Smith, if I just come back for a compliance, then she'll be okay once you move. When will you, for sure, when will you be gone? End of March? I mean, end of April?
I'll be gone by April. By the end of April, sometime in the middle to the end of April. But ma'am, I ask you, I am being truthful. Like, I do not bother her or nothing. And really, my wife called the police on her. Like, it started from my wife asking her until, I asked her, and she been going on and on about things. She been slamming the door. She not in fear for her life. I wouldn't do nothing to that woman. I wouldn't dare do nothing to her. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect women, period. I'm raising 2 daughters of mine. I wouldn't dare do that.
I like that.
And she stood right there next to us and talked to the police when the police came here. I believe I can find some.
Beside you talk, I don't need to hear it. So, here's my thing there. So,
baby.
Ms. Free, do we have some sort of date in May?
Compliance in May.
While they do that, I gotta say this: that you got to remember. Sometimes I could be completely wrong about this. I feel as if sometimes you put a PTO in order with something like this, so that if anything escalates or if anything happens, that is there.
Are you driving?
In order to maybe make it a little bit easier for
Mr.
everybody.
Brown, are you moving in the vehicle?
The only bad part is if they put it
You can
in
rejoin
effect,
when
it
you're
looks
no
bad
longer
on
moving
Mr.
in that
Smith, and
vehicle.
Mr. Smith is just trying to move, I think.
Right. There's that part of it. Yeah. Because it's on your record. It's, yeah.
So what we'll do, Ms. McGriff, we'll get you folks a compliance date, and Ms. McGriff, if he moves before then and you want to dismiss anything, reach out to Ms. Free and Mr. Smith.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I know you said we come back, but this the thing, like, she have told so many stories. I'm afraid for her to even tell another story on me, because we stay right next door.
If you
this
move,
woman know
it
I
don't
do
matter.
not bother her.
So we're gonna put on there that unless it's something like there's a gun or something involved, she can come back and she threatened, and she says you threatened to shoot her. We'll come back.
I did not do that, ma'am. I would never do that.
She also said
So
that she
we'll
had
come back in
proof of it,
May
but
for
we
a
didn't see it.
compliance.
He
Mr.
talks very
McGriff
loud,
said,
by the way.
Ms. Griff, don't let me put words in your mouth. If he's moved, you feel safer, am I right? So we come back in May, and if you've moved and you're out of there, she can dismiss it.
Okay.
Just
You're
know that-
right.
Yeah. So if you can place your email in the chat.
I think he
Mr.
didn't
Griff, put
understand
your
that
email
at
in the
first,
chat. We'll send
that
y'all
it's just
copies of
a
the order. We'll give you a
compliance that he's moving.
plan, and we'll check back.
Right.
She'll drop the charges and
Okay,
pull
so the
the-
order would be in continuance until the further.
Yeah, until we get the day in May. Ms. Reed's probably got to figure out which day in May, because I don't know if we have the compliance date scheduled out till then.
It is May 2nd, 10 a.m.
All right, May 2nd, 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yes.
We stay right next door to each other. Our door is like side by side, right next door.
You got to stay 20 feet away from each other while you're at home.
I'm in like, but if I walk out my door and she walking out her door, she could say something. Like, I'm not trying to bother her, but I'm afraid that she might.
Here's the thing. Well, common sense. Let's check it. Let's get some common sense, everybody.
Yeah,
If
look
you
out the door before you walk out.
You see her, just hold
Right.
up a second. Wait on her to get in her car or whatever, then you walk out.
That's the thing. Every time I walk out the door, she open the door. Like me and my family, we'll walk out the door, and as we coming out the door, before we can shut the door, she'll open the door. She opened the door one time and spit in the air while me and my family was coming out the door.
Well,
But
then
I
turn your
still didn't
video
say
camera
anything,
on your
but
phone.
I'm just telling
Yeah.
you, like,
Every time you walk
I'm
outside.
not the problem here. I'm not trying to bother her.
Here you go. All right. 20 feet at home, except for passing, going to a car in general. Okay.
Oh,
It's
okay, ma'am.
some good language in there, but y'all both
Ignore
have
each other
basic
like you
common
got a
sense. It's a
disease.
Big old world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you right,
record it every time you
ma'am.
walk
You
out.
right.
Just
And
Yeah,
I
you
have
got
no problem.
he's got a
with her. I
ring
had
doorbell
been
and stuff.
left that discussing that problem alone, but she keep going at it. Like she came in and did a
Okay.
TPO order like probably about 3 weeks after that. Like I haven't said nothing to her, my kids, my wife. We don't even say
Nothing's
nothing
gonna
to her.
So here you go. So both of y'all, the adults, leave one another alone. You know?
I don't say nothing to her.
No.
Good. Keep
We got
going.
it.
Keep it going like that. If you put your email in the chat, you can do that.
All right, we're going to bounce on out of here, Creed.
It is time.
Yeah, we got to go. All right, we appreciate everybody joining us today. It was we learned a lot, Creed. I feel like
That was a lot today. My God, I could sit and watch them all day long, but we've got things to do. We'll be back 4:05 East for We Got to Chase Florida Friday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
gotta wait for it to come back around.
It's coming.
It's a long one today, and we appreciate that a ton. Very much. So, yeah, I think Fridays. You know, if Manning jumps on a little earlier than us, I think that's a good idea to do that.
Yeah,
I like that idea. Just to make sure we catch some of our favorite judge and our favorite things, the little PTOs. Time served. Thank you so much. Aloe Golfer, Lisa, Laura, Flusha, Gary, really cool. John, Flusha times 2. John times 2, Flusha times 3. Bigfoot. We just saw you on a video, kind of.
Yeah, just for a second.
Mikey's favorite, Dallas Alice. Also, Shells, Georgia, gone for a week, 5 days. Flusha times 4, Laura, Sean times 3, Carol, Shells, Sean, Last Stand. That's a big one. Kenneth, Mr. Flusha, the Lambo Red, and Return of the Sean. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes. Nice to see some new faces. Appreciate you guys saying hi and all the comments. That was a long one.
Yeah.
I got to go get some lunch.
This is a doozy. Like it, love it, lick it, subscribe. We'll see you guys for the next one. And until then, everybody stay safe and healthy and drop your email in the chat, okay? All right. Bye.
Somebody is renting it, and it's not in my name, and it's not in anybody else's name. It's in somebody else's name.